jumped on the computer and Googled, how do you book a rap concert? And
I don't have a camel at my house. I just want to clarify. But I sourced a camel.
Gabby loves a comedy date night.
I do. I think this person knows his mom, so we'll hook you up.
with RV and Style, we're also working on this program called Love Thy Neighbor. And so that is where...
Welcome back to Connections in Cowlitz, your favorite local podcast sponsored by ServPro of Longview, Kelso, and now JoJo and Coco Boutique. I'm Katie Keaton, your Southwest Washington realtor with Realty One Group Pacifica.
And I'm Gabby Graves, your hometown lender with Synergy One Lending.
And she is not going to say her Northwest MLS number, but it's on the screen somewhere.
219-0032.
Today, we are joined by Andrew Kiggins, and I am so excited. He is the activities... No. What are you?
I'm the entertainment director.
He's the entertainment director at RV In Style Resorts.
Yes.
And honestly, when Gabby and I first started talking about this podcast and making our list of people to have on, you were one of the top people on my list. And Gabby said, well, what does he do? And I said, well, I don't know what he's doing right now, but I know that he's doing something and we need to have him on.
And it's always cool stuff.
I do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
So tell us about your current endeavor and how you got into that.
Yes, I work for RV and Style Resorts, as you said, as the entertainment director. It really happened going back to last summer. They had a motorcycle rally up at the Toutle River Resort, and I wanted to be there as a vendor. I have a clothing company, and so I called, got a vendor spot, went up there, and it was horrible. Really bad.
Put him on blast.
I mean, no. Obviously it worked out in my favor.
Yes.
They just didn't have anybody in like the motorcycle industry, like part of it, involved in it. And so the turnout was horrible. It was the same day as the Mountain Mania car show in Castle Rock, which is obviously a huge event out there, so that didn't help. And they're not from Cowlitz County. They're from Clark County.
Right.
Moving up this way. So it just, didn't really help. I reached back out after the event and was kind of like, hey, I could help you bring some more people next year. I have a kind of a background in entertainment. I used to throw concerts, bike nights at local bars and stuff like that, and they ended up having me come in for an interview. I met with them a few times, and they offered me a full-time job.
And this is why you reach out and ask people. This is why you just say, like, hey, I could help you do something, because you might get a job.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. And I wasn't looking for a job at the time. Like, I worked at the Diamond Showcase in Longview, which was great. Jordan Burns, awesome, so shout out to them. But, yeah, I mean, back to throwing events and parties was kind of more me than selling diamonds, so...
Right. Well, and I think Katie and I have also been in the position where you see something, an organization, an event, whatever, and you think, I could help make this better. Like, I have the tools it takes to bring this up a level. You know what I mean? So it's not so much like putting them on blast, but more so just, wanting to help. So. Oh, yeah.
They had, obviously they had the right idea. They had the right property. They just didn't have every last thing they needed to make it, go as smoothly or as big as they could have.
Awesome.
So let's talk about the property itself, because I think a lot of people out there maybe have a little confusion about what RV In Style Resorts are. You were the title sponsor of an event location in Ridgefield, and maybe people got a little confused, but you guys own resorts. You owned campgrounds.
Yes.
And a lot of them.
Yes, there's over 20 parks all over the Northwest, Washington and Oregon. When they started off with the branding of RV In Style, the idea was get our name out there, and we may have went a little overboard and put it on everything. And so people are a little confused, like, are you guys an entertainment company? Are you guys like an RV resort? Do you guys sell RVs? And it's like, yes and no. We don't sell RVs. We do have a bunch of campgrounds. We do have a convention center in Vancouver where we throw concerts and parties. We have the Toutle River Resort that has... It's like 300,000 square feet of field. It's got a 16,000 square foot undercover pavilion. So we're going to be throwing concerts and parties out there. And the property's great. Yeah.
Well, and you kind of surprised me because I knew that you owned the Toutle Resort. I knew that was a recent-ish purchase. But you guys own Camp Kalama as well?
So we have, just out this way, we have Dickey's, which is right in Ridgefield. We have a little spot in Woodland. We have Camp Kalama. We own the Toutle River Resort, Silver Cove up on Silver Lake, and then we have Harmony on Lake Mayfield, and then Mayfield Resort, which that one's really cool. It needs to be It needs to be open year round. We're still kind of working on that. It has a restaurant bar out there that's not currently open. Right on the lake, private dock, like it's awesome. So super cool properties all over.
Do you have an RV?
I do not have an
You
RV.
need an RV.
You do?
I would rather ride a motorcycle.
Okay.
So
you need a toy hauler.
No, I would rather be I like to be out of the cage, not in a bigger cage.
Okay, I'm just saying you need to start taking advantage of all of these cool resort spots.
Well, it's not just RV stuff. So Mayfield has a hotel attached to it. There's also, tent camping, trailer camping, whatever you want. Cabins. So Silver Cove has beautiful cabins up there. So more than just camping, cabins as well.
Okay. I would rather do a cabin, I have to say.
I would too.
absolutely.
And oh my gosh, Silver Cove
Glamping.
is so pretty. It's up by my house,
I have not gone there.
Oh, it's gorgeous. I actually am like, I need to get married there. It's
Oh.
cute. People get married
You
there.
should.
Really?
There's
Yeah.
like a little banquet hall up there and everything too.
Maybe
for,
I'll have you help me
let me
plan
know.
it.
Let me know.
Seriously.
So you guys have a lot of different locations, but obviously they have an events coordinator. They like to do events as well and brought you on to help them, especially like you said, in this direction where maybe they don't know what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah, more like just adding to the team. So we have Nick. Nick is down there at the convention center where my office is, and we work hand in hand. He's more of
Do you hold hands?
Yes, literally, like when someone comes in to look at the venue, we skip around and show them hand in hand together.
They sit at their desks together and click the mouse.
Yeah, we share an office, everything. They actually just
Yeah.
adjusted one of the stalls in the bathrooms just specifically for us. So, no.
People, let me tell you about my best friend.
I just more mean like with the entertainment stuff. So
I'm joking, obviously.
I know.
Connections in Cowlitz is sponsored by locally owned and operated ServPro of Longview Kelso. They are the #1 residential and commercial cleanup company in the United States. They help with fire damage, smoke damage, mold remediation, and so much more. Remember, you as a homeowner and business owner have a say as to who comes into your business or home. Locally owned, locally operated, ServPro of Longview Kelso.
We are also sponsored by JoJo and Coco Boutique, a woman-owned business where they focus on the relationship, not the sale. The styles are quality. They're timeless pieces that work for women of literally any age. Stop in for you or someone you love. You'll leave in stylish pieces and feeling great about yourself. JoJo and Coco Boutique on Commerce Avenue in Hudson.
That he's what I would say is inside sales. So when someone comes to the venue looking for like, weddings or quinces, corporate events, we have a government event going on there next week. Things like that, they're gonna get directed towards Nick, to where I'm more, hey, we want to book you to come out here. Like we have a big comedy show coming up on the 29th of March. Sam Talent is coming out. I don't know if you guys know who that is. He has been on the Joe Rogan Experience twice. He's like a panelist on Kill Tony, which is a big comedy show. It's like the #1 live podcast in the world. They've sold out Madison Square Garden like 5 times for that podcast. So he is coming out to perform 2 shows on the 29th of March in Vancouver.
Okay,
Awesome.
so that's at your convention
Okay.
center in Vancouver.
Yes, that's at the convention center,
March 29th.
March 29th.
Sounds like a date
Tickets
night,
will
Katie.
be on sale soon.
Gabby loves a comedy date night.
I do.
That's one thing I know
You guys
about
should
her.
definitely come.
She loves a comedy date night.
Okay.
Okay, interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so let's see. Let me just talk a little bit about you because you are such a connected Cowlitz County guy.
Thank you.
You know that. Actually, earlier today, I like offhandedly mentioned someone's name that's like one of my real estate clients. And of course, Andrew was like, oh, I think I know him. I'm like, yeah, of course you do. Of
You know
course
everybody.
I
you
do feel like I know a lot of people. That's
You
what you get when you're born and raised here and went to school
Absolutely.
here. And
True.
your parents own a business here, or my mom has worked in the school district. I feel like creeping up on got to be 20 years.
Yeah.
Close to it. My grandma worked in the school district, so
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you did mention, because you do have a background in events and things like that. And Andrew and I actually used to work together at the radio station. And one of the reasons they brought
thank
you
you
on.
for that one.
You're so welcome. One of the reasons that they brought you on is because you have done a lot of events. But let's just talk about like how you got into that, because I feel like it's just something that you're like, I'm just going to figure this out and do it.
Yeah.
Yes, sometimes my mouth can get me into some trouble, but it also gets me out of it. I had a buddy who was seeing a local club owner at a time, and being 21 and in there on the weekend with some friends, got in front of the owner and was like, you should bring me in here to help you pack this place. And I didn't know what I was talking about at the time. I kind of was just...
You're like, I throw really good high school parties.
No, she not even. I was freshly 21. She said, well, what would you do? And just on the fly, I'm like, I would throw concerts. She goes, okay, I'll see you on Monday. I'm like, all right. And then Sunday, that's probably on a Friday or Saturday. So then Sunday, I wake up with a text from my buddies like, hey, were you serious about that? Are you going to come in on Monday? I'm like, all right. So I went in there and jumped on the computer and Googled, how do you book a rap concert? And just kind of went from there, and we brought out Dim Franchise Boys. I don't know if you remember them from middle school or anything, but
I do.
And their white tees and stuff, and it was awesome. Like, we had like 400 plus people show up at this little club, and
Yeah. Well, you brought out some other interesting people too.
a lot of rappers from back in the day. You know,
Yeah.
Afro Man, the Yin Yang Twins,
Yes.
Chingy, Paul Wall.
I was going to say Paul Wall, yeah.
There's
You're such a
been
millennial.
Mike Jones. Like, yes, there was quite a few. So
Mike Jones has a special place in my heart. Just because.
who?
Mike Jones. No, seriously, my kids have probably never heard a Mike Jones song in their
No.
lives.
What?
But, well, they probably have. But my husband and I will just randomly, just like, we'll be going throughout our day. And,
Who?
Yeah, the kids will say something and we'll just be like, Mike Jones.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
That's hysterical.
That's
the more you
awesome.
know about Katie.
Yeah, the more you know. Yeah, so you're just a go-getter. Well, okay, so we talk a lot about on the podcast about like Gabby is such a why not person. Like she's just like, well, why can't
Yeah.
we get this? Like she just found a camel for an event the other day. I don't know if you saw that online, but it was like,
Again.
Does
Get it
anyone-
done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just get it done.
Get it done.
does
And-
anyone know where I can find a camel? And like now she has a camel, and I'm so
Yes.
not like that. I'm like, ugh,
I don't
there's
have
a million
like a,
reasons.
I don't have a
why.
camel at my house. I just want to clarify. Like, but I sourced a camel.
She
so.
sourced a camel.
Yeah.
You guys have the same energy in that way, where it's
Love
like,
it.
let's just figure it out.
Yeah, I've always been like no one's gonna do it for me, so I
Right.
might as well get it done. Like,
Right.
oh, camel,
Yeah.
I'll find a
Yin
camel.
Yang
It can't be that
twins.
hard. Just figure it out.
I think my exact words were, "This
Yeah.
is Cowlitz County.
That's
Somebody has
nothing.
a camel. This isn't an elephant."
Yeah, it's not like
Like,
you're asking for a tiger, an elephant, a
Yeah.
camel. Someone has one.
Easy. We got this.
No problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so can you tell us about some fun events that you have coming up? You talked about motorcycles. You talked about the fact that
Yes.
you have a motorcycle that you found out about RV in style resorts because of a motorcycle show. You actually mentioned to me the first time I asked you about coming on the podcast something about like an Evel Knievel style guy. Like,
Yes.
Kind of. So it's
I think I follow them on Instagram.
yes, we are doing the bike rally. That's what again they brought me on for. So we're stretching it from a 1-day event to a 3-day event.
Ooh.
It's gonna have it's pretty much the first like ever in the Northwest. It's a V-twin stunt wars. It's called the Get Vertical Stunt Wars. Companies like I mentioned, I have a clothing company. It's called Street Creepers. So we put a team together with 4 riders on there. Companies like mine are sending teams out to compete in this competition for like a cash prize.
Okay.
And they're doing like wheelies and burnouts and, standing up on their bike as they're doing wheelies. And some of these guys are dragging their elbows like on the ground with their full arm touching as they're in, 12 o'clock wheelie. So it's really crazy. There's going to be like a pool party that's part of it. We have a live band coming out. I don't know if you guys know who Broadway Calls is.
yeah.
Yes.
Kevin always talks about that.
Yes, they do.
So Broadway Calls,
Or he does.
they're like a local band,
Yes.
but they also were managed by the same management company that managed Green Day and The Offspring.
Okay.
And so these guys have done like a tour in Europe with The Offspring. They're getting ready to go back to like Germany and England this summer for shows.
Very cool.
Right? Josh Baird is the drummer in that band. Shout out Josh.
His daughter is in the same grade as my son at
Oh,
Toodle.
really? That's awesome. He has a
Toodle
little.
people, I always say it. They're some of the best people.
Yes,
Are
he
you
is
from
a.
Toodle?
No,
Okay.
I'm from Longview.
Don't say it like that.
Don't do that to me.
No, I'm not from Toodle either.
No offense to
but-
you Toodle folk out there, but
Toodle folk are good.
we're from the big city in Longview.
Okay, I know some of your favorite people from Toodle as well.
I
so
love,
don't
yes,
lie
I
to
love
me.
Toodle people.
Yes.
Yeah, of
Okay,
course.
anyway, Josh Baird. Go on.
Yeah, Josh owns a little, it's called P&W Soul, so he works with like kids with music stuff in the area, trying to develop music programs and work with the youth. What were we saying? Why did I even bring up Josh?
Because you're talking about Broadway Calls.
Oh, Broadway
Yes,
Calls. So
the motorcycle
Josh is
rally.
the drummer out there, right? So they're going to come play a live show out there on the Saturday of the rally, which will be pretty cool. Yeah.
And
So
when is that happening?
that is June 27th, 28th, and 29th. So they're going to play the 28th
Okay.
And where will it be?
at the Toutle River Resort.
Awesome.
Right. Yeah,
Very
Castle
cool.
Rock.
Yeah.
Now that you've said the names of this, I believe the PNW Soul, we follow them on Instagram. We follow your clothing company on Instagram. It's like all
Thank you,
sounding
thank
very
you.
familiar. I did not realize how they were all
Different
linked
ideas.
together.
It is so
Yeah.
actually. This is so weird how this worked out. So obviously, like I love motorcycles.
I didn't know that about you, by the way.
Really?
but No.
Oh man, yes. Since I was a little kid.
Okay.
This is okay. So this all, long story short, it all ties in. So I throw my bike nights. The place I throw my bike nights, Josh Baird's family bought that venue.
Oh,
The carriage?
Yes, and
Okay.
I actually was trying. So my family and his family made an offer on that place. They got it over us. Me and Josh,
okay.
not a big deal though, because me and Josh are cool. And so I started throwing bike nights with Josh there. At the bike nights, I let some people put up vendor booths, and I'm like, wow, these guys are selling shirts and hats and like making money. That's quick. I could do that. Came up with a clothing company real quick. Started doing it. Josh ends up like, yeah, I used to own a screen printing business. So me and Josh like link up, and I'm like, well, I have this warehouse from my dad's business that just kind of sits there. Let me talk to him. So now me and Josh move all this screen printing stuff into this shop. I'm throwing bike nights there. Then I get the motorcycle rally. I get hired through them. I'm like, hey, well, we should also print, official shirts for the rally moving forward.
Right.
And I know a guy, so boom, I got Josh helping with that. As I'm throwing bike nights, then we have my clothing come, like everything just like randomly tied in together. And then I get the full-time job throwing the rally, and like, it's just been so weird how everything I've been doing has morphed and tied into one, even going into like working with community events. Like, so Josh does his nonprofit stuff with PNW Soul, working with the youth, and with RV and Style, not to kind of tie this all in, but with RV and Style, we're also working on this program called Love Thy Neighbor. And so that is where, if you do any sort of, doesn't matter if you're like a family, business, or individual, if you do any sort of like community work in Cowlitz or Clark County, we are building this website to where we want to link your page and your information. It doesn't cost you anything, but it basically like
Creates a database.
yeah, not really a database, but like a platform where if you wanted to be like, oh, what's going on in the community, you could go to the Love Thy Neighbor website and see like, oh, like these guys are doing this stuff, and these, oh, we can make a donation, and it goes right to your like links and stuff. And so basically just something to kind of tie the community in together and like give you a spot to go find everything in one place.
right.
And so there's like Josh with his Josh with his PNW Soul. We're working with the Love Thy Neighbor. Josh is actually going to help us and like be on the board of that type of thing. So everything's just like tied in between the motorcycle rally, the community work. Like, it's just been really wild the last year how everything I do is just morphed into one, one
Well,
kind
we
of
say
path.
that all the time.
We can
because-
relate to that.
Yeah,
It's wild.
exactly. It's just like, you're going in the right direction because everything just keeps working out. And you're like,
Right.
oh, I must be
Keep
going in the right
opening.
direction.
Right.
And I don't know about you guys, like sometimes I get overwhelmed with like, I've got this I have to take care of. I have, going back to the charity work, me and my wife started this. It's called Cuts for Kids. And so
We are familiar.
cool. Okay. So with that, like, that started in 2015. I was working up at Cascade Middle School as a paraeducator. There was a young boy there who made a comment about just hating life, and he couldn't even afford to get a haircut and blah, blah, blah. And so I kind of like, I don't know, kind of tugged at my heart. I was like, man, no kid at 12 years old should be worried about his freaking haircut and like thinking like that's why kids. And so I went to the principal at the time, Noma Hudson. I have no idea where she's out, but shout out Noma. She was awesome. She kind of told me like, hey, we can't direct this towards individual
Like through
kids,
the
but
school
let
or
me
whatever.
word like this permission slip and we'll send it to everybody. And so she did that, and they all came back, and obviously this kid was part of it, and he was the first. I'm like, he's first. This is the first one I want done. And he got his haircut in for like 3 weeks. His whole like, the smile on his face, like his chest was puffed out, his chin was up, like he was just so confident. He was eating lunch with other kids, and like that alone, I was like, okay, we have to do this forever. And so we ended up, Noma Hudson transferred to a different school that next year. It was Kessler Elementary, so we ended up doing another one there. And from there, it just kind of grew. We did one going back into the school year with a barber and salon and a couple other barber shops and salons around the area. We cut like over 150 heads that summer, like that, just that day actually. Yeah, it's been freaking awesome. And so
That gives me chills.
yeah, and then we linked up, and you guys had Tyler Hodeman on, who does Neighborhood Heroes. So I've known Tyler since I was like 8 or 9 years old. And so, yeah, kind of linking up with him. He's doing community work with kids, which is, I'm all about the kids. Don't get me wrong, I love everybody, but I think adults can kind of fend for themselves and stuff. And I think a confidence in a child is what leads to,
Yes.
Confident adults.
not even a confident adult, but an able adult.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
Well,
someone
confident,
who's...
you have to have, you
Yes.
need to have internal confidence within yourself to take those leaps and
Right.
to make good decisions.
Yes.
And
I think
to
if you
be
build that
successful.
foundation
Yes.
as a child, though, that is the most important. Like, I don't know. I think it's easier to build it in a child than it is an adult. And if you can build it in a child when they're young, like that's...
It's part of their
Absolutely.
character.
Yes, it
And
is.
it goes on
Like,
forever. Yes.
Right.
I totally
And,
agree.
I mean, I don't know. Shout out to my mom, I guess, for always giving me that soft heart for kids, you know, always telling me to stick up for the kids with less, or not judge people who have less than you do type of
Right.
thing. And so, I don't know. There's, you know, my mom just kind of instilling that in me, and then getting to the school district and seeing how kids are mean, man. Kids are so mean to each other.
Well, and nowadays, I think kids, you know, especially at school, teachers and paras, they are combating things with kids that they weren't before. So there's a lot of kids that show up to school hungry, maybe don't have a clean change of clothes, maybe, you know, they want to be able to take a shower, cut their hair, whatever. And so teachers and paras are, you know, having to meet basic needs, not just educational needs, and they're having to meet like social needs for kids, because maybe at home they're not being taught how to socialize properly with their peers and how to get along, how to compromise, all these things. And so, like you said, being able to be a part of the character building and the foundation for these kids, whether it's through youth sports, whether it's through music, outdoor recreation, that is what's going to build the foundation of a confident, healthy, and happy adult.
Yeah, you never know what a kid's going through at home either.
Absolutely.
I mean, you don't know if when they come to school that lunch that they get or that breakfast is the only meal they're getting that day.
Absolutely.
Or, you know, that hug from the teacher might be the only hug they get during the day and stuff.
So true.
Yeah, it's, I don't know. Back to leading, like, just everything has to be building that confidence in that kid so that when they get older, they become an able adult and know, you know, at the end of the day, you can't take my birthday from me. I love me enough to know what you say doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And something as little as a haircut isn't so little. That we have helped donate to the coat drive that Tyler does and partners with Cuts for Kids. We really love that. So we would love to connect with you to see how we could maybe bring that into other schools too.
Yeah, always. We're always working on. So we just did 2 in the past few months with Tyler. We're working on another one. The hardest part about it is getting volunteers. Like, obviously,
the barbers and beauticians.
Yes, I mean, it's hard to get them to pull away from making money. That's how they support their families. So I understand it. I would say that when we do this stuff, we'll have, 10, 11, 12 people. We'll be there. We would love to do this. And then that couple days leading up to or day of, it's like out of the 10 to 12 people who were coming, we have 3 to 4 show up. So
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I know a couple that I could probably ask for you, and one of them, she's my cousin, and she volunteers a lot at the old folks' homes and does free haircuts there.
That's awesome.
Because that's another vulnerable population. But she'd probably love to do it. So
yeah,
I'll
we're
talk to her
always
personally.
looking for volunteers, and that's not knocking anybody who
yeah.
hasn't followed
No,
through. We get
life
it.
comes up. Yeah,
yes,
we
and
get
people
it.
are busy and they have to support their families. So I understand it. And big shout out to the consistent people who have, we have 2 barbers who have come to 3, 4. Sorry, 1 hairstylist, but they've come to like 3 or 4 events consistently, and always are. Oh, we'll be there. And so big shout out to them. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
No, but I'm glad you brought it up, because that's maybe a way that we can help is find stylists for you. You know what I mean?
yeah, that
Because
would
you obviously are good at executing things. You're not having a problem getting into the schools or whatever. So maybe we can help find some
Yeah.
people.
Always love the help.
Edward
If you're
Scissorhands.
listening on the podcast, she just used her fingers to make some scissors. So
Edward
if you're
Scissorhands. We're talking to you, Jessica.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I'm calling you out.
If you want to volunteer, you can find us Cuts for Kids on Facebook, Instagram. You can reach out to Neighborhood Heroes, Tyler. You know, we usually partner up with somebody to do it.
yeah.
So
Awesome.
Well, so going back to some of the other stuff we were talking about, first of all, very cool that you did find an employer that is happy and willing and wants to make some of this volunteer stuff, you know, part of their brand and mission with Love Thy Neighbor and everything like that.
he doesn't even want to put the RV and Style logo on. Like, RV and Style will not be a part of this at all. This
Right.
is all for the community.
Very cool.
Wow,
Very,
very
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
Sounds like he has the same vision as you, where he wants to use these real estate recreational properties to help build community events and bring the community together.
Yeah, it's wow. We have so much in common. Like, when I first met him, I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy's freaking exactly like me. So much passion. He gets fired up and like just wants to go, go, go. And like, yeah, it's
That's
awesome.
awesome.
It
Yeah.
is. It is awesome.
Yeah. Well, okay. So, what other events or sneak peeks can you tell us about that you guys have in the works at your resort?
We want to know a secret. Yeah, give us a good one.
Let's see. We are working on turning I might have already said this, turning the whole Toutle River Resort into like an entertainment center.
I don't think you have said that.
Okay, so yeah, we want to eventually get, like I said, there's a 16,000, I'm like looking down at the mic, a 16,000 square foot pavilion. I've been doing that the whole time, huh?
No,
Oh boy.
No, you're good.
fine.
A
You're
16,000 square foot undercover pavilion.
Uh-huh.
So we want to put like bleachers on the sides of that. So we'll be able to do shows to where you can either do seating on those bleachers while there's stuff going on, or when we do bigger concerts, to have seats available as well as like floor seats.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
VIP sections, and yeah, we plan on bringing like national acts out.
Yeah.
We've reached out to, I don't know, you guys, I'm sure you know the Klama superstar Tucker Wetmore.
Mm-hmm.
Tucker, get back at me, man. We want to book you and bring you home.
Please, seriously.
yeah, for real.
Actually, we might be able to help with that. We know somebody that's done that, brought him home
He
before.
is, well, yeah, but he is such a superstar now.
Right.
that we offered him so much money, and at the time, he just didn't have the available date.
Right.
And now he's probably 5 times what we offered him. Like,
I think this person knows his mom, so we'll we'll hook you up.
okay, I would take, if you can do it, please let me know. But
She
I'm
found a
telling you,
camel. I'm just saying. She found a
Hey,
camel.
I'm telling you, it's
I'm not saying that he's necessarily
He's getting-
affordable. I'm just or available.
yeah.
I'm just
he's-
saying that we got
not to spill his business. That he's probably getting hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And
per
he's
show.
That's
worth
not
it.
not probably. That's what he. Oh my gosh.
And
yes,
he's worth it. Yes.
Yes, he's freaking killing it. And I don't even know the guy personally, but big shout out to him putting
Yes.
on for Klama and Cowlitz County. It's freaking awesome.
Yeah,
See,
absolutely.
we are cool, Cowlitz County. That's what this whole podcast is about.
We're cool.
We're so cool.
What's that face, Andrew?
Nothing.
We're not a regular county. We're a cool county.
I don't know if I go that far.
We're like the cool mom county.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
he said.
you're bringing some great stuff to the area, so we're
Trying.
excited to see what you guys bring up there. And okay, this is just one question that I just have. So a lot of these resorts, like you have to have like a day pass to go in there, or you know what I mean?
No, it
like
depends.
if you're going to an event, or how does that work?
So it depends. Like if you're going to some of our resorts have fishing spots. So those
Okay.
day passes are like if you're going to go fishing, or maybe you want to go play disc golf or something like that, or go to the swimming holes, swimming pools. That's what those day passes are for. When it comes to like ticketed events, you'll be able to buy like just a general admission ticket to the show, or if you want to upgrade and get like a camping spot with it, you plan on staying the whole weekend.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
We
That
just
makes
go to
sense.
your website to book those.
they will be on the website. There will be ticket links. You'll always see like we're gonna market and promote them on Facebook and Instagrams
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Google, marketing. We have reader boards that are all up and down I-5. So
That sounds like so much fun. My kids love camping. They specifically love camping in cabins rather than tents. And I want to go to a concert. I love activities. I want to do activities. I don't just want to like sit around a campfire the whole time. So I would do that
yeah,
all summer long.
Most of
Yeah.
our resorts have like amenities like that. Like there's at the Toutle River Resort, there's a huge what's that game?
Putt-putt?
Nope. There you go.
Okay.
There's like a giant, but it's like giant.
Well,
like
you're
we
adding
use 4x4s
pickleball.
and giant balls. Yet we're getting some pickleball courts. There's like I said, the Toutle River's right there. You could go tube the river.
Yeah.
Well,
I
there's
know.
a pool there, right?
There's a pool there. There's a hot tub there. There's a couple saunas. There's.
and it's
there's-
just right up the road, people.
Yeah.
So at Mayfield too, you can, and I believe Silver Cove, we do boat rentals and jet ski rentals, all sorts of fun stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So make sure you're following along with social media for the RV InStyle
Yes,
Resorts.
yes.
Absolutely. Okay, so before we end, we always like to ask people their hidden gems in Cowlitz County, but you kind of already gave us a sneak
Hidden
peek
gems.
of yours earlier. The cookies.
This might be the best
yes.
sneak peek I've heard so far in our episode.
Well, not a sneak peek, but
or not a sneak peek, a
yes.
gem, a hidden gem. Sorry.
The cookies at the mall?
No,
No,
What
there's
cookies?
no cookies.
I'm like, what?
the cookies at Kalama.
Oh, those the best
Yes.
cookies. You're talking about the best cookies in the world.
Yes.
Yes. Camp Clama. It's called the Fireside Cafe. We were talking about the mall earlier in the cookies.
Yeah,
so I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah,
what?
yeah,
The Fireside Cafe has these cookies. They taste like raw cookie dough, but they're fully cooked with like a crunchy outside and a soft inside. Best cookies ever. There's a guy named Brady there who's doing all the baking. Best cheesecake you'll ever have. Best cookies you'll ever have. I'm telling you, Brady at the Fireside Cafe in Kalama, the best baker I've ever met in my life.
Okay.
Wow.
Do you have any other that you'd like to shout out since I hand delivered that one to you?
Oh man, yeah.
And it can be event
hidden
spaces,
gems.
it could be places you like to eat, places you like to shop, places you like to go and ride your bike.
I can't really think of any like hidden gems. I mean,
Okay, what's just your fave, even if it's not a hidden one?
like my favorite thing about Cowlitz County.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to spill the beans on too much here and get things shut down. There's a
Okay.
cool. I'm not gonna tell you where it's at. There's a cool little motorcycle lot that a lot of the local stunt riders go out and do wheelies and.
Okay.
And yeah, you can see footage of it on Instagram and social
That's
media.
such a hidden gem that he's not going to tell us where
I
it
can't
is.
tell you where it's
Okay,
at,
okay.
but there's a cool little
So
spot that.
where can people see it on social media? Who do they need to follow to see that stuff?
I mean, you can follow. There's Chance Chamberlain is in that group doing a lot of wheelies and stuff. Josh Newmiller. You can follow my clothing company, Street Creepers,
Of
to
course.
see us there. The 1,000 Bike Rally has an official Instagram. Go follow that. RV and Style Resorts official on Instagram and Facebook. Go follow us there. Yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
everywhere you'll really see.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't hide anything. I try to bring everybody in, except for the location of where we do cool stuff.
It's like when we had Addicted Fishing on and they're like,
Yeah, that's
You
what.
know,
Can't,
yes, we can't
you want me
give
to
the
give you
spots
my
away.
fishing spots?
okay. So don't tell us, but we're happy to know. And for all of you out there, if you want to see the cool videos, he told you where to find
Yeah, you
those.
can find
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for
Yes,
coming
thank you,
on.
thank
you.
I appreciate it.
And it sounds like you're doing big things. Like I said, I didn't know exactly what you were doing when I originally texted you to come on, but I knew it would be something cool. So
Well, I appreciate you guys having me out.
Yes.
So shout out to you. Shout out to the Warners, Mike and Denise, who own RV and Style Resorts, family-owned business, and shout out to everybody in Cowlitz
Absolutely.
County.
And shout out to Surf Pro of Longview Kelso and JoJo and Coco Boutique, who sponsor Connections in Cowlitz. Thank you so much for being here with us today, and we'll be back with you next time.
Bye.